This is to show you how to use the items in the program AutoCatalog. Items are in the grid and they show a preview of the drawing file and also its name in a link file below that. Each preview then can be used to identify the product that you want to insert into your drawings. To insert into the drawing, you simply select that item and drag it onto your drawing surface. You select a point, scale, and rotation, and it's inserted. It works just like AutoCAD. So you drag it onto the drawing surface, locate it, then select its scale and rotation, and the product is inserted. If you wanted to, instead of inserting an item, say open that item, just select the link below. You'll be asked if you'd like to open that drawing file. And if you answer yes, AutoCAD will find that file and open it for you. And then you can edit that particular file. So you can either insert or open using AutoCatalog. Some items display nicely in the grid and they're sized appropriately. Others you might find are either too big or too small. Maybe for something small like fasteners, you might want to see more in the grid than just what we see here. You notice that the letters have 4 columns and 4 rows visible. The dynamic tab has only 2 columns and 2 rows. So to make those smaller, you would just say you want to see more columns visible or more rows visible, and the previews would adjust accordingly. So if you had something very small that you could easily identify in the preview, you could add more content to what's visible at first glance. Or if you had things that were a little more complex and you wanted them to be a bigger preview, you would reduce the number of columns and reduce the number of rows, and that way you'd be able to easily see a little more detail. Although the previews are limited into how much detail they'll show, even if you make them quite large. You may notice that it takes just a split second for the previews and the catalogs to load up. With the initial load, you may find it takes a little bit longer. This is because AutoCatalog uses demand loading. So it loads the previews up, which takes a little bit of time the first time you select that tab. Any subsequent times when you select that tab, because they're in memory, they load immediately. It's best to keep the items within any given tab to 100 or less, but it's been tested with thousands of items in a tab. It just takes a little longer to load. Well, that's all for working with items in AutoCatalog.